Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie. This is Flosstube number 126, and I'm here to show you everything I stitched on last week and everything I plan to stitch on next week. Basically, I'm pretty happy with what I did last week. Monday to Wednesday, I was still off work, and I just did not really feel like stitching, which was okay. So I did not do a whole lot, and starting on Thursday, I was back to work. And I was back to late shifts. And late shifts are never really good for stitching. Mostly because I get up super late and then have about 3 hours before I have to go to work. And I need to eat something. I need to prepare something to eat at work. So yeah, time is basically done. And when I come back from work, it's already super late in the evening. And I'm just too tired to stitch. So not a whole lot of progress, but I'm really happy with what I did. Last Monday, last we spoke, I had already stitched my project for the day and was at a page finish, and therefore decided not to stitch on that project anymore, and thought about a few different other projects I could stitch on. And in the end, I did not stitch anymore at all. Instead, I did some reading and just enjoying the last of my free time. So that's that. So let's get started. As always, I'm going to start with my travel project. Basically, that's the project I take everywhere with me where I think the occasion for some stitching might arise. Normally, it's work. For the moment, or at the moment, my work project is Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So basically with this one, I finished the first row of pages last year. And now this year, before I do anything else, I want to finish the whole of the border. And since you saw it last, I finished those two pumpkins, the cross stitching in those two pumpkins. Did that line of gray, I think from about here. And then I backstitched all of those little motifs and did mostly backstitch on this gray line. As you can see here, that bit is still missing. And then I started with a black thread and started on those next motifs down here. Going forward, I want to finish all the black in all those motifs. Then I'm doing the white and oranges. Then I do the gray borders. And then I start backstitching the rest of the border. Whenever I'm taking this with me for travel stitching, I just take the anchor colors. I do not take the cranach and the beads. Not going to happen. So whenever the occasion arises to stitch on it at home, which it will this week, I'm going to stitch all the cranach and beads that I did not do while out. Basically, I do cranach and beads and backstitching as I go. As you can see, this top is completely done. As I said, I did the first row of pages last year. So that's all completely done, and that's what I want to have for the rest as well. So I'm talking about it in my plans as well, but I will be stitching on this one at home, and during that time I really want to finish the cranach and beads in the border. If I get some additional stitching done, that's great, but I really want to finish cranach and beads at least for that part where I have already stitched everything. Of course, this is going to continue with me as my work project. So I think it will see 4 more work days until I stitch on it at home. So maybe I get a bit more of the border done and can do even more cranach and beads. That would be amazing. But we'll see about that. This one is stitched on 28 count casual linen in the colorway Haunted by Pictures Plus. The needleminders from Denka Designs, and I'm stitching this one with the call for anchor colors. Basically, the chart is, or the pattern is charted in anchor colors, and then there's a conversion on it for Sullivan's USA and one for DMC. I decided to go with the anchor colors. They're easier to get, and it was charted in anchor. So for DMC, for example, you have 2 symbols with the same DMC number to be stitched in. because it's a conversion. And as I can get anchor colors definitely easier than DMC here in Germany, at least in a shop, and not ordering it online, I decided to go with anchor. And I'm really happy with how it turns out. The fabric is more like that back here, but you can see the big picture better when I bring it up a little bit more to the front. And it looks amazing. Can't wait to finish all of that border, because then I can move into this picture and finally finish that picture and finish that horse. It looks amazing on the cover picture. So looking forward to that. Okay, that's that one. As I said, I did not stitch anymore on Monday. So on Tuesday, I then started with my next project. And Tuesdays, I stitch on my oldest full coverage piece. And at the moment, that is Raven Queen by Mirabilia. So that's what she's going to look like when she's done. And I should picture what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So basically, I stitched over here. And last time I talked to you, I thought I might be able to finish that, and I would have been able to do that. I definitely did have the time, but I just did not feel like stitching, so I didn't force myself. I did some more over here. It's getting closer and closer to being done, but it is not done yet. And I want to finish this one first before I then move into the border. Yeah, so next time I stitch on this, hopefully I will be able to power through and actually finish that part. She stitched on a 32 count gray linen. I'm stitching 2 over 2 full crosses with the called for DMC, the needleminders from Danka Designs. And yeah, she looks amazing. And even those stone parts in the background look amazing. And I can't wait to have it done. I just really did not feel like it the last few times I stitched on it, so we'll see. But of course, I'm going to stitch on it this Tuesday as well, because it is my oldest non-full coverage piece. So I want to stitch on it. And yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I will be able to finish that stone part and then soonish move into her dress, because I'm really looking forward to that. It will look amazing. I'm also not looking forward to it because there are a ton of beads in that dress. And I really love the way beads bring out a piece, but I don't necessarily enjoy beading itself. So yeah. Okay, next piece I worked on was Whipgo called Not Finished. Whipgo is basically a bingo board with all your projects. I have all my year-end goals on there, and every month Jessie Marie does stuff. She's the one who created Whipgo. Draws 2 numbers for the month, and then you stitch on those projects that are called. I tried to stitch on those projects, but I had a few months where I was away, or there was some other event going on and I wanted to do that event. So I have a few numbers that are called, but I have not yet finished my goal on that. And I have a wheel in the Tiny Decisions app with all those projects in there, and then I spin that wheel and it decides which project to stitch on to get closer to my Whipgo goal. Basically, Wednesday and Thursday of my rotation are meant to be for Whipgo called that specific month. But the 2 projects that got called for this month, for the one I have already finished my goal for the year, so I don't want to stitch on it anymore. And the other one is a complete finish, so I can't stitch on it anymore. And therefore I decided to switch it out to Whipgo called Not Finished. This week was extra special because I only used Wednesday for Whipgo called Not Finished, and the Tiny Decisions wheel drew Story Keep the Frog Prince. It's an artwork by Melanie Dallin and charted by Heaven of Designs. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So I stitched this one in a diagonal of 10 by 10 blocks. And when you saw it last, I think I had this one done and started in this block over here and did those blocks. This block took so long. It's so confetti heavy, but it looks amazing. And with this block down here, I finished the first page in the second row. I really did not have that in mind when I got this project out, that I'm so close to page finish. And I'm so happy I got a page finish. And after that page finish, I really lost the steam to work on this some more, motivation. Whenever I reach such a milestone, I really have a tiny bit of finish hangover, and it's really hard to get back into stitching immediately. So with this one, it was the same. I had that page finish, and I was just done for the day, so I packed it away. So next time, I probably will be able to finish that diagonal. That would be amazing. But I have no clue when I'm going to stitch on this next. It is stitched on a 32 count light blue linen, and I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitches, and it does look amazing. Needleminder is from Danka Designs. I think I have a bit less than 5,000 stitches left to finish my year goal, which means there's a ton left. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. And I can't wait to get back into the next diagonal to do some more on her face. She will look amazing. And of course also her dress, because as you can see, that looks pretty cool so far. And I'm getting to those more yellowish parts of her dress. So I did that shoulder piece, and now I'm getting to those more yellowish parts, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. So yeah, that's the frog print. Can't wait to get back to it, but it will take some time. As I said, I have not yet drawn it anymore for anything this week, and I have quite a few with Go called not finished, so the chances of this one getting picked aren't as high as I would wish for it. But yeah, maybe soonish I will finish a few of my goals and can move further along. We'll see. And then on Thursday, as I said, I did not stitch on Whip Go Called Not Finished on Thursday, because on Thursday it was my birthday, and it was also the birthday of the project. First of all, I want to thank everyone who wished me birthday wishes and who stitched along with me on a Fancy Lady, because I stitched on Cinderella Rags to Riches by John Elliott. Basically, in this chart, you get 2 patterns, one for Cinderella and Rags, one for Cinderella and Riches, but you can combine them, and that's what I'm doing. Last year I finished Cinderella and Rags, so this year I want to finish Cinderella and Riches, but that's a ton of dress. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And I'm really happy because this is where I got to. Basically, I continued stitching from top to bottom. I take the first symbol, top to bottom, left to right, that's missing, and do 1 length of thread. And then I move on to the next one. And with this one, I was way past my bedtime, but I really wanted to do 1 more length of the skin color, 1 more length of the blue, because then I could backstitch all of her face. So her face is completely backstitched, and she does look amazing, really amazing. I'm so happy. And I think I might get to back to this now a bit more motivated, because I can already look at her. There's a bit missing in here and a lot missing over here. Those are all going to be beads. There are a ton of beads on her. Cinderella and Rags did not have any beads in herself, I think, just around her and those Krenix rolls. And those Krenix rolls also stopped about here. With Cinderella and Riches, those Krenix rolls and beads all around her are there as well. She does have a lot of Krenix in her dress. She does have a lot of beads in her dress, and those Krenix rolls will be down to the bottom as well. So she is sparkly. But I'm so happy that this dress, those blues are amazing. I'm really looking forward to do some more on that. But next time I come back to her, I will do all the Krenix that's still missing above her head, and then start with the beads to completely finish off her head. There's still a ton of hair missing I haven't done yet, but nevertheless, to finish off the top part of her head before I then move down into her dress. They are stitched on a 28 count casual linen in the colorway Fog by Pictures Plus, and I'm stitching with the Call for Everything. Needleminder is from DMC, and I'm stitching 2 over 2 full cross. They look amazing. both of them are. I just show you Cinderella and Rex one more time, the whole thing, because I'm so happy. And yeah, those are the two of them together. Still a lot to do on Cinderella and Riches, but we'll get it. We'll get it. It's only half the year already done, and I've just done her face this year. But yeah, we'll see how far, or if I will be able to actually finish all my goals. Last year I managed to do that. If I don't manage this year, that will be fine as well. But I really hope so. It's getting warm in Germany. In my area, not so warm as in others, but it does get a little bit warmer. And I always noticed this when it's getting warmer outside. I'm not necessarily feeling like stitching as much as I do in the winter. So we'll see how my progress turns out over the next few months, over the summer months. Probably going to be a bit less, and that's fine as well. I will be out and enjoying the sun, and that's totally fine and necessary. So yeah. Okay, last project I stitched on was for my second rotation of a whip go called Not Finished on Friday and Saturday. And on Sunday I stitched on a random whip, which means a whip where I have not yet finished my year and go on. There are 9 left, and this week, those 2 rotations, the same project got chosen. So I had 3 days on the Chimney Sweep by Golden Kate. This is going to be the finished piece, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to, and I have no idea if you can see any difference. Basically with this one, I take the first page and go down in columns, top to bottom, left to right. Whenever I hit a symbol that is not yet done, I finish it over the whole page. And as you can see, the top left corner is a lot of white. This time I picked a symbol in here and then finished it over the whole design. And actually with the 3 days, I had enough time to finish that one color, but did not have any more time left to start the next one, which is totally fine. The color was actually a solid color, which is on Golden Kites. On some of them, it's pretty rare. On this one, I think I have probably the same amount of blended as I have solid colors, so that's fine. And with that color, I did a few confetti stitches all around over here. There was a bigger block of color over here, and a lot more confetti stitches in that area. So if you want to search for any differences, those are the places to look. But yeah, this is stitched on 25 count light blue even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitches. Needleminder is from Denker Designs. And I can't wait to come back to this one and pick my next off-white color over there. I already looked it up. It is an off-white color. But I'm getting closer and closer to that part over here, and there will be some darker colors. I'm not yet halfway done with my year and go. For that, I need another 500 stitches. So this year I want to do 11,000 on this, and I have so far done 5,000. So we're getting there. And I'm so happy with this one. I know it's kind of boring for you to look at, but I really, really, really love this piece. So it's the only one I'm stitching extreme cross country, and it's probably one of the only ones I would do it with, just because it's fairly small. But I really enjoy it. Even if I'm stitching from a paper pattern instead from Pattern Keeper, which would make it a lot easier, but I just really enjoy it. Anyways. So that's everything I stitched on. As I said, not as much progress as there probably could have been, but I'm still very happy because I did enjoy my free time otherwise as well. Now let's move to plans. So today, probably not a whole lot of stitching time, just with the video and everything. But today I'm going to stitch on Coloring Mountains by Golden Kite because it is Monday. Monday I stitch on a Golden Kite, and I also stitch on my oldest full coverage piece, and that's this one. So yeah, I'll show you where I'm at with Coloring Mountains. This is where I'm at the moment. So last time you saw this, I had finished this page up here, and I want to finish, or I want to go in diagonal pages. So now I'm going to move in this page down here and start with the first column on that page. It is stitched on 25 count even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 110 stitches, needleminder from Denker Designs. And I'm really looking forward to stitch on this one today. I just really enjoy stitching this piece. Now I'm getting to the mountain area, so it is pretty confetti heavy, but I still enjoy it. And then tomorrow, it is Tuesday. Tuesday I stitch on my oldest non-full coverage piece, so I'm going to stitch a bit more on Raven Queen by Merville. And then on Wednesday and Thursday is Whipco called Not Finished, and this time Norwegian Ship Under Sail, the small edition by Golden Cake Cut Called. This one I want to do 10,000 stitches this year. So far I have done less than 1,000. But with this one, the Tour de France challenge in the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group is coming up. Basically, you stitch along with the Tour de France. And the first year I stitched on this one, I did stitch the Tour de France challenge with this piece. And I did really enjoy it. Because normally, with the Tour de France challenge, you have, I think the highest was 248 stitches in a day. That's possible. But you then stitch nearly every day on it for close to a month. And in the end, I'm going to do the yellow jersey, so I stitch everything. I will end with close to 3,400 stitches, I think. That's pretty cool and very necessary for this project. So I'm going to do that. And it starts on the 1st of July, so starting next week, you will see this a lot more often. I will show that a lot more often just because I will use it for that challenge. But on Wednesday and Thursday, I'm just going to stitch on it as much as I can do. So let me show you my starting point. This is where I'm at with this one. It is stitched on 18 count antique white Ada. I'm stitching 2 over 1 4 crosses, needleminder from Denker Designs. And I stitched this in diagonal pages as well. And I'm on my second page in the second row. So I think that was the first column on that second page. And I'm now in the second one. I've started it a little bit with all those confetti stitches in here. Basically, I move through my parked threads, and there are a ton, as you can see. Stitch them in the whole column and then park them in the next and move on with the next parked thread. So yeah, it would be pretty nice to finish the whole column in those 2 days, but it might be difficult just because this project is involved. Basically, I think there are 200 colors and maybe 50 of those are solid colors, the rest is blended. It's a lot of confetti, and especially in this ship. The sky was okay, but especially this ship is a lot of confetti. I really enjoy how it turns out. I mean, it looks amazing, but it's a lot of confetti, and therefore it just takes a whole lot of time. It's a paper pattern and not stitching on pattern keeper, so that takes even more time. So it's involved, but I do enjoy stitching on it nevertheless, and I really enjoy how the picture is turning out. So I'm looking forward to that. And the last time I stitched the Tour de France challenge with this piece, I think, if I remember correctly, I was over here in those first few columns of the first page. So it's pretty cool if I then move on to this page for the Tour de France challenge again. I would really be looking forward to that. So that's probably going to happen. Okay, and then on Friday and Saturday, once again, I stitched Whipco called Not Finished, and once again, Whipco called Not Finished chose Colorado Mountains. So 2 more days on this one. It would be amazing to finish 3 columns this week. I really doubt that going to happen. I think I will be happy if I do one column completely and a bit more in the next. But it would be amazing. Yeah, so 2 more days on this one. So when you see it next, I have had 3 days on Colorway Mountains, which is pretty exciting. And then on Sunday, a random whip got chosen, and that whip was Sleepy Hollow by Glennon Place. As I said, I'm going to do all the krennic and beads in that part of the border, and in whatever part of the border I have finished until then with travel stitching. Totally amazing would be to finish the whole of the everything in the border, but I really doubt that's going to happen. But it would be amazing. We'll see about that. Yeah, that's that. And that's everything I plan to stitch on until I see you next Monday. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, answer or put a comment there. I'm always happy to answer those. I do take my time, but I'm always happy to answer those. And yeah, I will see you next Monday. Bye.